Welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Lauren, and guess who I brought?
The better sister, obviously, what y'all been asking for.
We're gonna be watching that new MrBeast video that dropped by Dogpack 440, something like that. And as you know, he was the guy that did the original leaks. He was the original MrBeast ex-employee. He got the conversation started, and now this is part 2. There's a lot of parts that he's gonna be releasing periodically, I'm guessing. I think he talks about it in this video. A lot of the stuff talked about in here, I have not seen, and this is a 50-minute video. So you better sit down, get some popcorn. I'll give you a cookie if you subscribe.
Let's get into the video.
I'm hungry. All right, jokes for food.
All right.
I wish a philanthropist YouTuber would just give me 10K and not film
So
it.
this, okay, so he's the original leaker right there. That's Dogpack 400. This is another MrBeast ex-employee. That he's the guy who they're interviewing.
Very interesting.
That's a crazy skit. For the very beginning. Jake
Content cop from Timu back
Waddle?
before
Waddler? I don't know what his last name was.
Jake Weddle.
Weddle.
A lot has happened since my last
Weddle.
video. After posting, I got hundreds of messages from former MrBeast employees, and I had them all like send proof of former employment. People showing their support or telling their stories of you know, fake videos or unsafe practices, you know, toxic workplace, stuff like that. I'm not really going to get into
Ooh, I'm kind of excited to see those. I think he's going to talk about it.
Anonymous, which I understand, and also like
And I
think
hope
most
so.
of the stuff
I
just
think this is
covered
from the video.
with, you know, the news coming out about beach
And it's
games
50 minutes
everything.
long,
I also have, like,
so
more serious
yeah.
allegations that I want to start covering. Also, I heard from a very credible source that MrBeast has been sitting on a response to part 1 because he was worried if he posted it, I would instantly respond with part 2. You know, like a
See,
like
he has parts. He has.
Also, I know MrBeast's
1, 2,
secret
3.
CEO has been practically like harassing my people on, you know, hey, what's in part 2?
Did he just say a secret CEO?
So I will just tell you, James, what will be
did.
part 3, so you don't have to
kinda weird.
harass my people. It will be about serious allegations of sexual misconduct in the company and your direct involvement in covering up those crimes.
Allegedly.
I'll make sure to full credit and plaster your face all over the screen.
It's allegedly.
Crazy.
I've gotten dozens of messages from former MrBeast employees of very serious allegations. So I just want to put a call to action at the start of this video that, you know, if you have a story, you can DM me. Just make sure you send proof of employment first, because I get a lot of DMs. And like, as much as I
Oh yeah, just imagine, because he's the original person, I'm pretty sure that exposed MrBeast. And so just imagine all the types of DMs he's getting,
The threats.
threats,
The stands of
or just
MrBeast.
people acting like ex, yeah, employees.
During the 100 boys versus girls video, I have people corroborating the same story that the camera guy who gave the girls a drone was making some girls feel uncomfortable.
Ooh, another cameraman? Kai said that too?
Them.
Okay, that seems really dark.
No, it's not dark. You're misunderstanding me, bro.
I think I am.
Yeah, you are. Because if the girl said no, then the answer obviously is no.
No,
But the thing
right.
is she's not gonna
my
say no. She would never
gosh.
say no because of the implication.
Anyway, so that will be
The
part 3,
implications.
So, you know, MrBeast, do with that information what you will. I know Chucky didn't want to respond to those allegations. So anyway, my interview with Jake Weddle, I chose to interview him because I thought he was perfect, because he was both on camera and behind the scenes in 2019 and 2020. And also, what people don't know is that he
I thought
came
the
back
dog was
in
chewing on a bone for a
2021
second.
to be the sole contestant of a MrBeast video, which never got uploaded because it went very badly. He also knows about another portable document format who was working at MrBeast while actually on the registry. And I'll get more into that story.
Did you just hear that?
So I got his DM,
the
drove straight to New York.
Yeah,
overnight,
he's
did
saying,
not
okay.
sleep, drank a bunch of caffeine.
He's saying a
Also only had
PDF,
one, microphone,
you
in the
know?
interview, which he's wearing. So it's mostly just him
Pedo.
talking. Also, like,
Oh, okay.
final thing-
Okay.
Yeah.
He's
saying-
gotta remember, you gotta explain things. in
He's saying that he
detail.
has a.
Got it. No, you don't gotta explain anything.
Okay. I just had to make sure.
It's crazy. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, he did it for us.
Jake
The
Weddle.
retention.
Most people who, if you know me from MrBeast, I'm a deep cut. I'm in a few of the videos, sometimes maybe purposefully kept to the shadows a little bit. I'm in the cutting room floor a lot of the time. But I've been in some videos. I've worked on a lot of them. I was there from 2019 to 2020, 2021ish when I came back and did some more.
Yeah, I can only imagine how many videos MrBeast has stored up, because not every video is a banger. Not every video is going to be posted.
He's even mentioned he has.
And he's in a couple that were not posted.
Amazon. The culture around there was very unspoken, but there was a vibe. There was half the people who, if you made Jimmy happy, you were on the good half. And these people got random bonuses and were usually moved up, had more screen time. And then there were people who, if you had a disagreement or butt heads with Jimmy or just you didn't like it, you know, you were the other half. And I consistently was in the half that Jimmy doesn't like me. That's fine.
You know what I should do? I just thought about this, so y'all can actually probably hear Emily more.
He didn't want anyone to get
Don't worry about me.
popular or have more of a way out necessarily. Like, oh, I'm doing like something on the side.
Get out of my mic.
And talk about me negatively. And I could tell that the yes men were, you know, doing well, and I was, you know, disgruntled for quite some time. So I've talked to reporters, right, like publicly, and
Is that why
I've always
Chandler's
had
not
to
there
choose
anymore?
my words very, very carefully.
Chandler's
because
there.
I
I
thought.
know, but he's not as
Yeah, he's not as
popular
into.
and in like the main.
glaze Jimmy publicly
He might be
because I
trying
knew
to separate
Jimmy was gonna screw.
himself.
But then it's like, well, how come you didn't talk about the working conditions? Well, I wanted a career. I didn't want to, you know, speak ill of YouTube's golden boy, and then I'm blacklisted forever. I tell people.
See, we've talked about this in the videos before. You don't mess with Beast, or you get blacklisted.
As far as that, that's my covering up of why we didn't talk about XYZ sooner. But now you know.
What would you say
Yeah.
was the fakest video that you worked on while you were there?
People will say you're going for
I
clout
worked on while I was there. This is
and
the extent
cancel
of the
you,
fakest
and
that I was
no
involved
one
in.
will believe
Like,
you. They'll call you a liar, and
I was a writer there, and we were working on a video, crushing my friend's car with a rock or meteor or something. It was a rock or a meteor in the title of it. I can't remember, but he wanted to do a prank where, unbeknownst to the person, he takes a rock, crushes their car, and they're supposed to think a rock came out of space.
We're gonna take a meteor and we're gonna put it on Weddle's car. We're gonna take another meteor and put it on Marcus's car. Both of them have no idea. that
these
we're
are
doing this.
so
And Marcus are
old.
probably shocked. They had no idea.
And so that was the one and only time I had to, my car? What? And on the fly, I saw him, because Marcus was in that video. So Marcus is calling his mom. Marcus genuinely had no idea.
This guy's really good at
So Marcus is calling his mom.
telling the
His
story.
mom's
like, you
freaking
know,
out.
somebody
And I'm
could be like
oh, no,
really
you're gonna call
monotone
mom
and just be
next.
like,
So I
yeah.
text my mom,
But, like, he's
who
so
had to
lively,
stay
you
in
know?
jail very quickly. Now I'm texting my mom. I go, Mom, I'm about to call you about the meteor thing. You have no idea? Be surprised. And then I hit send, and then they go, call your mom now. And I call my mom and I tell her, and oh, she should have got the Oscar. Oh my God, on the fly, she goes, what? I'm on vacation. Mom, my car has been destroyed.
Wait, what?
A meteor hit it.
Jacob, I'm on vacation. Do you understand?
Yeah, I did that video, and they're supposed to be
W
10K
mom.
with down
Our mom would have been
on
like,
a, new
we
car.
would have told
They
her
wanted
in
to go
advance,
flash
and
new
then when
car, 10K
it
with
happened,
down.
she'd be like,
And,
what are you, is
I
this
could
the
afford
video,
a
Lauren? What are you
car.
talking about? And she would ruin it.
Very true.
yeah,
Very,
yeah,
very.
Our mom would not come clutch in that situation.
No.
So I do my part of the video, and I get a mom van that I could afford. And Jimmy was like, "Why didn't you get a cooler car?" I was like, I can't afford that, bro. Come on, what are you talking about? If I was working on a TV show in the 90s, on a show that was a quarter as successful, I could retire today. But now I make dog shit pay, making gajillionaires more money. And I just walked into the.
That's what
writing
happens
room,
when you like work for.
And that's one of the reasons why I left.
People don't understand working for a YouTuber is literally working for a 9-to-5 job.
A gajillion dollars.
Coming from somebody who worked for a YouTuber. Like, you're making the rich richer. Like, people are like, don't work for a company because you're just giving some man, the CEO, a lot of money. It's the same thing with the YouTubers when you work for them. You're just making the rich MrBeast richer because of your ideas.
I didn't even bring up residuals because, oh my God, if I got residuals for every video I worked on, boy, howdy, I could retire. But yeah, the other thing I talked about was there was another writer there, older comic, black guy. He had a kid, and I got paid more than him, and I thought that was wild because he was older than me, had a child. We're doing the exact same job, and I'm some 20-year-old fucking white guy. Why am I getting paid more than him? I brought that up, and one of the things I didn't like about the way TV stuff shook out
My nose is itchy.
was
He's getting emotional.
I
Yeah.
feel really guilty about the way this like shook out.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was talking to this other writer, like it's fucked up, you know, that's how the pay is, and I want you to get paid more, you know, because you deserve to get paid more. You know, I don't have a kid. And he didn't want to rock the boat. He desperately didn't want to rock the boat. He's just, I like my job. I like, you know, because
Yeah, because he has a kid.
Not to say
You need that
I know, like,
stability.
You don't want to
you
risk
get
it.
something, you don't want to lose it. So he didn't want to rock the boat.
No rocking it.
But he said, "Hey man, if that's how you feel, you know, like if that's like, I trust you." He stood with me. He went to that meeting with me, and I said my piece, and he backed me up. And I said, "I need X, Y, Z, or I'm out of here." And they said, "Bet," and they gave me a severance check the next day, and they gave him a severance check the next day. And if
They fired the guy that went with him.
if I knew
That's
he was
messed
gonna lose his job, too, I
up.
wouldn't have done it.
That is messed up.
Unless he's like making demands, why are you? I guess.
Well, he did make a demand, but still.
No. He didn't make a demand. He went there to support him. He made the demand. And he was happy with
Well,
it.
yeah, and he said he backed it up and said if you don't do this X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, that's what he said, but the one guy didn't. He was just there for support.
Pay me to leave. I was over the moon. And he was devastated. He did not
Dude,
want
I bet.
I said he's wanting to be in the room, you know? And I really regret that.
Man.
Me and him are really still tight. We're still
That's something you live with. That's that
Yeah,
TikTok trend where it's like,
he's
I carry that real deep in my chest. You know what I'm talking about?
So maybe you'll feel better. Honestly, best thing I
You know what I'm
could've done for
saying?
him. Now that he's very, very far removed from all this crazy shit, I guess. Do you think?
I mean,
Jimmy
maybe.
really
Maybe
enjoys
he saved
doing
him. Maybe
good
it's like a little
I think
blessing in
Jimmy wants to be
disguise.
The best
Maybe.
YouTuber. I think
Maybe.
he is laser focused on one goal, and I think whatever he has to do to achieve that goal, he'll do. And I think it was the smartest decision for him that he calculated because he's very good with numbers.
See? This is a very good point.
If I donate to charity, people can't say I'm shitty. If I give this homeless guy 10K, what do you mean I'm a bad guy?
Yeah,
But I've
exactly.
always thought, if you're gonna do something nice for somebody, and you stick a camera in their face while you do it, you didn't do a nice thing for somebody. You gained something. There was a homeless guy on the street, and you saw an opportunity for yourself and your image, and you gave one guy $10,000 who needed it to eat, and now the revenue you generated from that video is way more than what you gave. I think when he's generous on camera, it's the least authentic thing in the world. There's an element of, you know,
I can't get it.
you're crying. That's so good for camera. You know, I'm so glad he's. If you're crying because you're so thankful that you got X, Y, Z, and then you go, oh, I'm so glad he needed it that bad, so I could.
I forgot the doors
If
open.
you cry more, it's so good for the camera. If you could, it made me uncomfortable that I was working there, and I didn't like it, and I vocalized it sometimes. And I think that's why I wasn't on camera as much as they said I would.
Probably.
I was told. at
Why
one
would they
point
want
that I was
somebody
gonna, like,
who's
force men up, you know,
going
giving
against
Jimmy,
them
Chris,
to be
Jen,
on
and
camera? They don't
I
want
never
they don't
happened,
want
and
that.
we
They
talked
want
about that.
like-minded
Yeah,
people.
Yeah,
So it's
they want-
easy.
yes, man.
Yeah.
You're saying.
Whatever. How that was.
But yeah, no, he had a very good point because just because you're giving money, like you can't deny that Mr. Beast has given hundreds and thousands of dollars to charity, building people homes. Like he is doing good things, but is it because he's just a selfless person?
You know, yeah, sure. So
I know I say person, okay, but
and
he's still getting paid for it, and it's changing people's views. So they're like, so this can kind of be covered up because he's such a good person, does charity, you know, stuff like that. Like
but
it can be used like that.
I got paid a lot for it, but it didn't.
He can use
didn't
it to
come
his
out.
personal gain.
It didn't come out because it didn't go well.
What'd you
There was
say?
a
He can
video,
use it to his personal gain.
Yes,
out
exactly.
like a year
Sorry,
ago,
I didn't.
something
It's hard to hear with the headphones.
Hot Water when it came out. It was the surviving like $10,000 every day you survive in solitary or surviving solitary for whatever. It was one of those solitary confinement videos that got a lot of media attention because everybody saw the premise and thought, "What? You shouldn't do that." And people don't know that was the second attempt. So the first attempt was on me. And it didn't go well.
What?
Uh-oh.
He was like the lab rat?
I was already planning on moving to New York, and I had worked at a couple of YouTube companies after Beast, and I had a little bit of change in my pocket. You know, the most change I had in my pocket ever. You know, small potatoes, compared to Beast bullshit. But I thought I had enough to move to New York or whatever. And
That's wild.
From somebody over there, and they go, "Hey, we want you for a video." I was like, "Oh, amazing, great, cool, thank God." What's the video? And they tell me the pitch. And they try to make the pitch sound like it's gonna be like a walk in the park. The pitch.
Oh
is,
yeah, they don't want you to think it's
100 days
hard.
in solitary confinement. But don't worry, like you only have to last like 30. We have like a video. They're pitching it like at first it's gonna be like a luxury vacation. You're gonna have like a hot tub and an ice cream machine, and like part of the video is gonna be you deciding like what items am I gonna get rid of today, and it's like the choice. They were like, it's only going to be bad for maybe the last like 5 days tops when you have like nothing left. You're the first, it's going to be like a breeze for most of it. And by the end of it, after 30 days, you're going to get $300,000 because it's $10,000 a day. And I don't know, man. I grew up poor in North Carolina. I said, excuse me? I'll dance for you if you put that kind of money in my face, sure.
Exactly. If you're giving money like that in the hundreds of thousands, I tell you, hey, I want you to do something. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as I'm not telling you to murder somebody. You would do it for $300,000.
Editors have told me.
Like nothing crazy, obviously, but like
There are definitely some things I would do for $300,000.
that's what I'm saying. The opportunity.
It's a video they can't cut me out of. I'm the guy. And so I thought, well, if I have to do this,
I'm gonna reset the stop recording because she's kind of lagging a little bit, and so I'm kind of nervous. So starting recording, and my hair. You can do that. 3, 2, 1.
have to do solitary confinement in order to do the things I want to do, then I will do that. That I held my tongue and I swallowed my pride and I tried to do one last ride. I get there, and at first it's fine. And I mean, they had just freshly painted the set. You could smell it, which that's probably not good, the smell of fresh paint in your surroundings for the next XYZ time.
I mean, who knows?
It looked good on the visual. It looks good on camera. It's movie magic bullshit. It was a terrible facility.
I did not change the audio sound.
Had to get like a separate tank for septic stuff. Yeah, there was a hot tub in it. Yeah, there was an ice cream machine.
Can I get a hot
things
tub?
Were cool and funny on paper, but when you think about stuff, a hot tub that's not connected to a filtration system, give it 3 days, it's gonna stink. If there's not a hot water mechanism, so the hot tub was a lukewarm.
He is right.
Fest,
Imagine just
but the shower was always
a hot tub that can't filter itself.
And I had cameras 24/7.
It's gonna start smelling real bad, or your just entire room smells like chlorine.
On and off, reeking of smelly dairy mildew. So I got to choose which sense was assaulted at a time. I couldn't have all of them good.
Those would be my first couple items out that room. Get that out of there.
The thing wasn't terrible, but it was a factor. And at first it was fine, and you're playing it up because it's a video, and it got to a point where they weren't turning the lights off. I asked them, I said, can we have nighttime hours? And they said no, because it would fuck up the time-lapse shots. The time-lapse of what? Me sleeping? Or me not sleeping? Yeah, I saw in other videos they did oh, you're gonna get XYZ hours of sunlight. Oh, great! Want to know how they figured that one out? I didn't have it.
So he was like the little test rat.
Yeah.
Okay, I got no access to the sun.
That's
I
horrible.
got no access to the clock. I don't know, the lights are on me all the time. I wasn't
Yeah, so your circadian rhythms all messed up.
Yeah.
You don't know when to sleep. You don't know what time it is. You're so disoriented. Can't you die from that?
I had a lot of good people looking out for me.
MrBeast potentially kills. Huh?
I believe you can have mental damage.
And I'm vocalizing to people. I wish the lights would turn off.
But it's for a certain amount of time for
my good friend.
Solitary confinement.
And I go, they're not turning the lights off. He goes, what? That's a war crime. We're not allowed to do that
Is
to
it?
terrorists.
Consider sleep deprivation to be a form of torture and a
good.
war crime. A war
24 hours, wait,
crime.
Geneva
I can't
Convention, I
talk
guess,
under the
of course.
Geneva Convention.
So,
Mr. Beast
they're
committing
giving me,
war crimes now?
melatonin,
Bum bum.
it's not helping, and then Jimmy would come in like every other day for like an hour, to check in on me because he's doing other stuff. I'm just
See if this is true. Why, if that's the case, and he knows that, and he really didn't get any shut eye. Why has he not sued Mr. Beast for that? He gets so
Because he said it. He said it before. One, you're gonna be a clout chaser because you're going after Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
Two, he is the golden child of a lot of big companies.
True.
You cause a war with him, you're almost blacklisted from probably most of YouTube, Hollywood. He has so many connections
You know how
now.
hard it was to do a take of
And that's
that,
what he said at the beginning. If you
to
listen.
pretend to make it genuine. I don't want to have student loans. I don't want to beat a cage. But Jimmy's the guy with the money.
You know what I would do to pay off my student loans? And they're not even that bad. My student loans are like,
you have power over
I would
people.
consider them
One person
quite
doesn't
normal.
have
They're not
resources
extreme, but
the other
it's
does,
not
and
like
you go over
only
your head, you go, of course,
$200,
yeah,
$2,000.
I needed it, of course.
It's okay.
There's something about like having the cameras on me all the time.
Imagine.
Like I was not having a good time, but we were filming a video, so I was trying my best to be funny. I'm a dark comic. I got bits about. I had a very traumatic life.
We can tell.
My dad is in jail.
We can tell.
For sexual assault.
By the way
with a
he's
minor,
acting,
so this kind of
we
stuff
can
is
tell.
Very near and dear to my heart.
Traumatic.
I don't fuck around with this shit. Yeah, I have jokes about that in my act. I joke about it because that's what you do in a traumatic experience. Abusive relationships. I get out of it. The first thing I do is I do a type file about it. So I'm in this situation where my mental health is not good. My physical health is getting worse. But we're filming.
We're
so
going.
I'm doing bits. I'm talking to the camera. And I'm being, like, hey, it's been a couple days. I'm not doing so hot, which if I'm filming a video, that's what I should be doing for the camera. But it was too real. If they're faking videos, why couldn't we fake this one?
Ooh, truth.
If we're allowed to let these cast members have some time
Oh,
off
so maybe he's trying to say
this
like
difficult challenge, how
they're
come we
not
couldn't turn the
fake,
lights off?
but like
How come we couldn't maybe not
the
have some
trauma
time
that
lapse
you
for 10
get
seconds?
from like not getting any sleep, being deprived from like sunlight and stuff, like just the emotional toll, it like breaks down a person.
I don't know if I can do
And
a
so
third.
it might not be fake. He might not be
how much,
accused of
can
faking his videos,
how
but
can I manage to get
he's
out of
going to
this
be
sooner?
accused
Still
of the
have
mistreatment
video,
of his
still,
participants,
have
you
some
know?
cash and get the plug.
Mr.
man.
Beast.
I did. Since we're doing time lapse shots, and since they insisted on time lapse shots, I said, all right, we're gonna do time lapse shots bet. I put my YouTube on with the whiteboard they gave me. And I was like, all right, yeah, go ahead and scrub that footage. You got that whiteboard. Oh no, either that goes in or this footage is unusable. And then, James Warren came in and erased it. Don't put that. Hey, we can torture him. Don't you dare let him get a plug in there.
Nah, Mr. Beast
Like, we're
dime.
playing up the joke.
You have to pay for
It's
that.
like, I'm the boy in the cage, whatever. Like, I'll play into it.
Sure, it's big money.
It's just something weird about when Jimmy jokes. I have jokes about my dad because I love jokes with my dad. I'll joke about my dad all the time. That guy's a piece of shit. I hate my dad. But I have friends that make fun of my dad. That's fine because I know their intent. I know where they're coming from. When Jimmy joked with my dad, and I sometimes seem weird. I don't like it. We were doing one of those hide and seek videos. Again, at the time they were a lot realer. So I got caught, and when you get caught, you go to the place where you get caught. And I don't know if there's footage of this. I don't know if I definitely didn't make the final cut. But he says to me, "All right, you're going to jail. Like your dad." And like, it's a joke. But when my friends do it, it's fine. And Jimmy just wasn't my
Dude,
friend.
is she chewing on like...
He was my boss.
Dude,
cool.
I hear her.
And so now,
I'm sorry if y'all hear a dog chewing on bones. That's what that little noise is. I'm so sorry. This is going to be such
I need to live.
just a very long video, and it's going to be very minimal cuts.
Was unwell I had editors coming up to me saying, "You good, bud?" And I was like, "Yeah, why? You're clearly unwell." And he goes, "Well, because the footage you're sending in is haunting. Because I'm trying to be funny, but I am mentally decaying, so I'm doing bits." Someone said there is a horror cut of a video in this. And I'm sitting like, who's watching this? Like, who wants to see this? What is fun about this, the video? And so the thing that made me want to, I got to get out. I can't do another day in here. Jimmy comes in and I'm asleep. I don't know what time it is. I don't know, it's like 2 or 3 or whatever. He's like, "Why is he sleeping?" I don't know, because I can't sleep. And he comes in, he wakes me up. And he goes, "Ask me why I have 2 briefcases." And I'm like, why do you have 2 briefcases? And he goes, "Oh, this one's for today, you know, and this one's for the challenge." And I go, "What's the challenge today?" He goes, "You're gonna run a marathon. You're gonna do the 22.6K, whatever it is. You're gonna do it on that treadmill over there." The first challenge I did was a Rubik's Cube, and I'm dyslexic. I'm dumb. I don't know how to do a Rubik's Cube.
Rubik's Cube to having to run a marathon is crazy.
Different. I mean, one's a mental challenge.
Like there was an element of, Jake will do what we want because he's in house. You know, that's one.
That is true. He is in house.
He's an inside guy, so he'll do whatever. We can push.
Yeah, I don't think they could ask a normal person to run a marathon and make it entertaining enough.
Yeah. So I people who run marathons train forever, and it's still hard. Again, writer. Do I look like I run? I don't run, you know, let alone a marathon, let alone training for it. So I was in a stunt like this, you know.
Did you try to say no? Like, did you have a choice, or?
Based on the Rubik's Cube thing and based on all the other stuff, like there was so much pressure to just do it, just do the thing, you know.
Do the thing, brother.
If I refuse,
do the thing.
Well, that's the whole video. I guess the budget's, you know, so much money up in flames because Jake said he wouldn't want to do the thing.
Oh, so they gaslit him too to do it.
Boost, and I wanted the cash, and so I
like,
start running it.
If you don't finish this, you're gonna waste $500,000.
Yeah, I was gonna take some breaks, and I asked him, "How long do I have?" He goes, "Until I get back." And I'm running until 3 a.m. I got off the
What?
Oh, the blisters I had on my feet were like, you wouldn't believe, just all over. Just
oh, I can only imagine.
I couldn't walk. My
going from like it's different when like you're already an athletic person and you try to run a long distance. Like it's gonna suck. Like running's gonna suck regardless. But like your feet are kind of conditioned to it. You're kind of conditioned to like putting your body under that kind of strain. But imagine not doing anything, being like, as he said, a writer. He doesn't run. He's just an average person. And then I'm sure he wasn't wearing running shoes. You know, like there's all these things to protect yourself.
There was a lot of good people over there that were saying, "You gotta pull him out."
I'd be crying.
Yeah, I had friends that did some freelance work.
I'd be too.
And they would tell me, they'd be like, "Yeah, everyone knows you over there. Everybody loves you." They go, "Oh, Jake Weddle, love that guy. Shame what happened to him."
Dang.
And I asked him, I said, "How much longer are you guys gonna keep me in here?"
My hair is going crazy.
And the guy goes,
"Forever.
Realistically, like at least 7 more days." No. And they didn't let me leave right away either. They wanted to make sure. Yeah.
They wanted to make sure they squeeze
so
every last drop of content out of you.
And it's like they brought in all my friends, you know, to make it.
Dude, like he's gotten emotional about like a couple topics, and it's just it's all the hard stuff. Like I feel for this guy.
But Jimmy had his he was sitting in the chair turned around like an evil villain. Swear to God, everyone was looking at me, and he was like Lex Luthor over there. He turns around.
That's kind of weird.
Stands up. He does the exact same thing when he's pretending to have a human connection. You know when you're watching a video and he's
when he's pretending.
He's like, "Oh, stop! You're gonna make me cry," and he like touches his eye or whatever as if he's crying. He's not. He's just.
It's all manipulation.
I didn't have to pretend
it's all the
to do anything.
tactics.
He says,
It's all the tactics.
as if rehearsed by his lawyers.
Mm.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
your mental health is most important.
There's some like
thing, as long as
body
you're okay,
language
last thing you wanna
people
do is-
on YouTube. They should like look at all the Mr.
I can
Beast and
almost
like
hear
talk about
the word
this. I would
soup
watch
come out
that
of his mouth.
video.
The S, he just stopped right before it got out.
I did not get the 300K. What I got, he goes, think of it this way. At least you get to keep what you earned. You know, you were in there for XYZ days. You did XYZ challenges, so you got, you know, 100,000 some change, you know, give or take. You know how much money I spent in taxes in 2021? I spent
Almost half of it.
$44,000 in taxes alone.
Yep.
And now
Half
I
your
spent all that
money, about half
on
your money
doing
to
stand-up.
taxes.
I bought plane tickets to go do comedy festivals. You know, my family back home, I gave them a bunch of stuff that they needed. And haven't been back on a Beast set in any official capacity or unofficial capacity since then. And then they did the video with somebody else, and they worked out the kinks.
Go.
And then, I still got
No beans
hot water
allowed
in
on
my
this
new
set.
one.
The
I wanted to
dogs
say
are
I love
trying to
this
get
for a long,
attention. They're
long,
like,
long
y'all
time.
been doing this for too long.
And I feel good though. I just had to get that out there.
I was
I just
happy.
wanna hop in
Or
and
that's
share some
like,
text that Jake sent me after this interview. This is July 29, 2021, a few days after he got out of solitary. Blisters on my feet still hurt to walk on. Medical advice I got was not to lance them.
Another
and just let
dog.
them go away with time. I'm mentally still in an uneasy place, but I've gotten back on better help. My therapist is a little concerned, but we are working on things.
Damn, he
Mind you,
read
this is
it
not supposed to
and
be a
didn't
traumatic life
reply.
event. This is supposed to be a Mr. Beast video.
There's more
Hey, Jake,
text.
hope you're doing
Okay.
okay. Meg and I just wanted to check
Says,
in on
dang,
you. Hey,
didn't
I'm
reply
good,
to
and
him
I
is
appreciate that.
crazy.
I'm not exactly 100%. I feel like mentally I'm still recovering a bit, but back in therapy and my therapist is concerned.
No, he
Haha.
didn't.
But my legs and joints feel better. Like, I
Haha.
can walk, but my feet are still covered on those blisters and those hurt to walk on. But I was told the best thing to do is stay off my feet and let them heal. I'm in Raleigh with my family. Also, it'll be like a month before I get the money, and they aren't giving me all the money. They're giving me what I won up to that point in the game, which was also a slap in the face. But hey, I'm out. I'm alive. Therapist who knows
Well,
and cares about
okay.
you. The whole thing was so fucked.
Playing
and
devil's
honestly, fuck
advocate,
them
he
for
didn't
not giving
finish
you the
it,
money.
but he
Meg
got
and
all
I
the
are
money
wishing
he
you the best.
earned up
With
into
your
that point, which I
recovery,
mean,
please feel free to reach out
at least he
if you
got
need anyone
paid.
to talk to
$100,000 is
or need a
not
place to
something to just be
crash
like,
in New York. Hope you're doing well, man.
Only
I knew you definitely needed this money.
100,000?
So good. I
no,
appreciate
that's
it.
still a lot of
I'm doing
money.
better physically.
Yeah, 60
Mentally, I'm
grand
still
I'd
kinda
take.
in a place. I still can't sleep. I've slept 5 hours in the past 3 days, marathon included. I don't know what's wrong with me. Lots of thinking, too much, one might say. Hope they're taking care of you where they can. I mean, I was kind of
That feels like a
shocked they didn't
crazy
pay me
text.
For the full 25, 30 days. They paid me what I made up to that point. Like, even when we have to pull the plug for my mental health, the mechanism of the game is still at play. I'm just happy to be out. I still can't walk well, but it
Yes.
hurts less. And like, I'm not famous
Yes,
enough
because
to
technically
burn
you
a
didn't
bridge.
complete
So at
it,
the
which
end of the day,
I mean
I'm still
it
Jimmy's
doesn't.
bitch. Like, if I was Carl and he did that to me,
You know,
I'd ruin
it
him. And
doesn't
they
say
wanna do it
anything
again. That
else.
could
Like
be
it's
your
just
leverage. If
for
the guy
that
breaks
like
down
point
also,
he's trying to
two's better
make.
than
It doesn't
one.
really matter.
Yeah,
Like he
right.
still got
I
paid.
told them everything they did to me that they can't do again in order to make sure the other person doesn't break down as fast. But like the way the video is meant to function is the problem. It's a bad idea, full stop. It sounds clickbaity, it sounds right up Jimmy's alley, but it's morally unethical like on every level. Off-camera breaks,
He's just
lights off
throwing
at night,
shade.
visitation, take the marathon out.
Clickbaity.
Marathon is a video in itself.
That's
You
me.
can't expect someone to exert themselves like that for 45 seconds of content. The challenges really made it feel dehumanizing. Felt like a parody of MrBeast. I felt like the homeless guy they could exploit. It felt like if Jeff Bezos had a
I mean, he
GIMP.
kind of was.
It felt like if Jeff Bezos had a GIMP. Part of me wants the footage burned, and part of me thinks that
Isn't
there's a
GIMP
great
a
horse
bad
heading there.
word?
LMAO, he was so fake when he
Don't
came
like
in, said he
professional
cared about my
gimps.
mental
Don't
health.
they don't like
They must
that?
have
You know.
programmed the
I don't
care
know.
about mental
I have
health
no
of
idea.
and he said, we also don't want you to, and I swear to our Lord and Savior, he stopped himself from saying sue. Also, as far as like, he could have said no, he could have left at any
I mean,
time.
yeah,
showed
no
the
one wants to get
segment
sued.
from, an internal
This is
document
America,
of
where
MrBeast
you can
called
sue
How to
anyone
Succeed
for
in MrBeast
anything.
Production.
Like, I'm
Specifically
gonna
on page
sue
19,
her.
There's a paragraph called "No does
Or-
not mean no." Already insane. because
What?
it seems to be co-opting the popular anti-rape slogan, which is a terrible.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy if this is like actually
coming out very soon. It reads
a document from MrBeast or like his company.
Never take no at face value. If we need a store to buy everything inside of, and you can call the local Dollar Tree, and the person that answers says, no, you can't film here, that literally doesn't mean shit. Talk to other employees.
Very
and see if they are
professional.
fans or if any have kids that are fans. Try talking to their boss's boss. Have me DM them on Twitter and try their social team. If all avenues are exhausted and you are left with a no, that doesn't mean don't try the other Dollar Trees, because the manager of those could be huge fans and willing to bend the rules. Basically, what I'm trying to convey
Exactly.
is what we call
Anything,
pushing
any
through
loophole
no.
they can
Don't
find to
stop
get their
because
way.
one person told
Now,
you
what you know too,
Stop
you
when
know.
all conceivable options are exhausted. This is one of many tools that, when combined, dramatically
I feel like my
improve
hair's
the probability
attacking
of
me, I'm
success we're
sorry.
producing here. So yeah, this idea of like pushing through no's is a big component to working at MrBeast. And the way that it manifests itself a lot of the time is like, a director might tell a producer, hey, we need access to 30 acres of farmland by Tuesday or we lose $500,000. Now, if you're the producer, you obviously know that means get it done or you lose your job. So what can happen is like a
Exactly.
producer's calling up farmers saying, hey, I need to use your land. And the farmer might be like, okay, but you know, I have animals, you can't be making really loud noises, no pyrotechnics, and you got to clean everything up. So the producer's sort of incentivized to lie and say, or maybe the producer doesn't even actually know the total contents of the video, right? Things changed last second. So they're very like, they're financially incentivized to be manipulative and sort of, they're put in positions where it's like, oh, it's either the producer's job or a civilian's job, like where it talks about, hey, maybe
Yeah,
the
but
manager
don't
would
you
be
think
willing to
like
bend the
if
rules.
this was
Well,
the
you shouldn't really
case
be
that there
pressuring
would be
civilians to
more
go ahead and bend the rules that could get them fired,
there
you
would be
know?
like these
I'll show you a
smaller
real-life
stories
example. This is
of
unused
like
evidence from part
stories
one.
about
I've
like
seen
what
this
he's
Reddit
talking about,
post,
like
Yeah,
his
coming out.
his team being
MrBeast leaving
manipulative.
trash behind and debris at
But
film
see,
site
they
in
also
Ada,
have such a
North
big
Carolina.
platform
Apparently,
who,
he
like you
left a
said,
large
who would
boat
want to
in the
get
pond,
attacked
as
by
well as
him,
debris around the film site.
Yeah.
or who would want to try and attack
Weeks and
him
weeks after
and
the
be a
agreed
clout
time
chaser,
frame. This
or
actually rendered it
get
unsafe for
canceled
campers
themselves and
almost
lose
delayed the film's
their
opening date multiple
following.
times due to not being able to get in
Truth.
contact with MrBeast to get the stuff cleaned up out of the area. So I actually know that this is from a MrBeast video called Protect
Is she making
the
noise?
Yacht, Keep It. Where at the end of
Yes.
that video, he actually says,
Dude, the dogs are actually whack.
They're going crazy.
Completely cleaned up after this video. For the love of God, subscribe so we can pass T-Series.
yes, we said
See,
at the
he
end of the
made sure
video
to
they
say
made sure
that.
it was cleaned up. I was actually
we can
on
pass
site
T-Series.
for part of this production.
mean-
I was at this camp. So I decided to send an
Whenever
email
I first
out
watched that
to the
video, I
camp,
was like, well, of course he
basically
said
saying,
that
"Hey, I
because
heard
like
these rumors,
people
I'm
are going to
investigating
like come
similar
after him,
incidents." And the camp
asking
responded,
if
actually
he did
not
that. So
denying
he's
the
already kind of
claims,
like
going
just
on to say,
stopping
"I am
it
sure
from
that there are
starting,
no
like the hate
perfect
from
film
starting,
productions,
just being
just
like,
as there
we
are
already
no
cleaned
perfect
it. Don't worry
people.
about
I
it.
am grateful for the opportunity that we had to host the production crew, and because grace or forgiveness has been offered to me so freely, I will choose to offer the same. So clearly alluding to the fact that there was a wrongdoing by MrBeast production team. And that's like sort of the thing is, if you're around Greenville,
that's a little
you
iffy.
know these stories of
Yeah.
people working with MrBeast and it being extremely unprofessional, them not doing what they say. But they sort of get by a lot on their good public image. And like, I mean, this camp offered to host them completely for free. And I guarantee, like, if you went to the lake
For
at
the
the camp and you went
free?
magnet fishing, like, you'd
Yeah, 'cause
find
it's
all
Mr.
sorts of debris
Beast.
that's still there to this day. Like, they
You
didn't
get
clean
money
it
to do
all
that.
up. So in the case of Jake Weddle, like, I'm sure that there were producers who were in a position of, hey, if Jake gets
See,
out
like I
early,
see what
we
he's
don't have a
saying,
video,
but like
and your job
without
is at risk.
concrete proof,
So
I feel
there's
like
a
just all
tremendous
that
amount of
stuff he just
pressure
kind
on
of
top
talked
of, like,
about
him
didn't
being
really like
delirious
it's
from
not as
messaging
impactful
and everything
as
to
his
just
actual
manipulate him
stories
and
of like
saying,
what he went
which,
through.
you
Like
know,
he's
I'm
just
sure
kind of
this isn't, like, technically
speculating
against the
and he's
G's, but he
talking
convicted him
for the
torture
company
because he wasn't
themselves, being
technically a
like,
prisoner, like,
well, I'm sure that there's
could have
still
left at any
trash
time, but because
there.
of the
You don't know
extreme
unless you've been to
pressure
this place,
stay
and
in, it's
I don't
not
think
really a
he
reasonable
posts any
expectation
pictures
that
as
he
like
could
if
have
he
just,
went there.
you know, walked out.
So those are
Because
more
of the
iffy.
implication.
I think
You know,
Jimmy
it's just
is
not
a
as solid
awkward
as him.
Kid who maybe had it a little rough growing up. I can't speak on that, but I do have empathy for it because I had it rough growing up, and I think when you're hyper fixated on something, like I love stand up, he loves YouTube. Everyone fixates on a thing. I think he just wanted to be the best YouTuber so bad.
The
and
very
because
best.
The industry's
No one
metrics,
ever was. Now
rewarded
I'm
some
copyrighted.
not great behavior. If you're just going on autopilot based on what the numbers say, you know, you can do some things that maybe aren't good, but reap reward. And I think Jimmy just did
The rewards.
what the industry and maybe what this system that we have set up demanded. And he didn't care who got hurt. And
Truth.
I think Jimmy.
If you see Emily's weird arm going around,
with
she's messing. One of our
really,
dogs is being
really
annoying over there.
Athena Bean.
not so great people, and those people were the ones making the decisions. And I want to say, really important, there are so many good people that work at MrBeast who are damn good at their jobs. Like,
That ain't good, brother.
when Jimmy comes in and asks for something impossible, it's these people's jobs to do it. And they shouldn't be able to make it happen, and they do. And so, I don't think people wanted to talk about stuff because I didn't want my friends to lose their jobs. I don't care about my fucking job. I'll die in a hole. I don't care. But I don't want my friends to lose their jobs.
Yeah, it's
You know?
one thing like
I don't want anyone's reputation.
when
to be
you
fucked.
yourself are like, I
You know?
don't care, but you don't want to drag
Right.
your friends in who
Let's just go back
are
to
in
that
a
for
similar
second, by the way.
position, like work friends, you
My
know?
dad
being,
was
like, doing
a
successful
swim
with it.
coach, in
Mhm.
the neighborhood someday, and everybody loved him. Everybody loved him. Behind closed doors, he's a real piece of shit. And so when stuff starts hitting the fan, what? Him? No. Surely.
Because of that image that he
And
is
then, you know,
created and
thought my
crafted
mom was the
by
bitch, you know, for not,
giving away cars,
then
giving
he was
away hundreds of thousands
You know,
of
that
dollars, building people
he did
homes.
what he did to
It's that,
one of the students of the team.
it's the personality
And
he's crafted.
It's like
Or
when that comes
persona.
out, you're not surprised, you know? You just go. When I saw my dad in the news, I said, "Oh, you idiots!" Like I was like, "No, what?" I was, "Oh, dumbass! God damn it!" But I wasn't surprised, and it was just consequences happening to somebody who was really good at avoiding them for a long time. And I don't know, everybody loves Jimmy, and behind closed doors, he is not super great, and that image is
I just noticed his shirt says poop.org.
cultivated purposefully and intentionally, and it's branding,
First I
marketing.
I thought I said womp womp.
It's-
when I first read it,
Womp.org.
but I didn't keep reading it. I gave up.
Okay, so
That
I
was
guess
just
one final
WPO.
question on
Sure.
a serious note. Obviously, the Ava Chris Tyson drama, and you know, that's a
Ooh,
known
we've talked about
issue of traditional
this.
media.
Mm.
Did you
Put in the comments if you
witness
watched
or
any of the
hear
Chris
about any,
Ava videos.
sexual misconduct at the company?
It's crazy. I probably hung out with Ava the most out of the main cast, just because I was on Beast Hacks, now Beast Reacts. I don't know if it's still out. That was a lot of fun because it was just, you know, being silly and goofy in front of the camera. And Ava was the only person who was willing to film. Everybody else was too busy or didn't want to, and I was just trying to do my job. Sometimes there'd be like an offhanded joke.
Just trying to do his
That's a
job.
little gross. I mean, I'm a stand-up, so I'm very desensitized to that. I didn't hear anything that was like, whoa, that's crazy. Like when I saw, the reason I messaged you instead of talking to reporters sweetly like I have been was when I saw the Discord stuff. I never, because when I got there, it was like 2019. So I guess if the timelines add up, that would have been like handled, for lack of a better term. And then they started bringing more people on. You know, maybe they thought they had that under the rug. You know. All right, we handled that. Now let's bring in some writers, you know? And when I saw it, all that stuff start coming out. And the potentiality, as of this moment of recording, you know, I know this has been happening fast and stuff has been coming out so fast. Just the potential that Jimmy could have been in those Discord chats, or even the potential that he participated in those Discord chats.
Ooh, is he insinuating
shit
him
me.
participating in the chats?
What it seems like.
If you're gonna make fun of my dad,
Oh,
I don't care what happens to me and my career and reputation after this. I had to say some stuff. So whatever happens at this point.
Outside of Ava Chris Tyson, did you notice any or hear about any sexual misconduct at the company?
I've heard rumors. I can't confirm or deny anything. I don't have any tangible evidence, but I've heard stuff that if it could be investigated, that'd be great. that's like water cooler talk. But I've heard things. Yes, of course.
Mm.
I've heard people have
Locker
been
room talk.
let go for sexually assaulting some very young people. The idea that Jimmy
That's crazy allegations.
or that Jimmy was covering stuff up. He didn't want stuff to come out. He's very careful about his image. The tangible
That
proof
he is.
that he knew but covered it up. How do you prove that, Well, there was a known
He's just very calculated.
Registered sex offender, convicted sex offender on the registry and everything, who worked there.
Did they already blur it out? So we're watching like this was out like 2 hours, maybe like. Did he already blur that out? Is crazy.
Blur out? Why did he have to blur it out?
Well, I don't know. I don't know why else would it be blurred, but I don't remember it when I was watching it.
Rehabilitation in this country. But that guy, from what I hear, I can't confirm or deny, from what I hear, he's on the registry for doing some not great stuff to some underage people. And they knew that.
Victim's age was 1 to 11.
Has underage people on
Those are some extreme allegations. Like, and that would be so crazy if MrBeast allowed a registered offender to be working for him.
And
especially on that condition.
That's crazy. I can't.
That's
he'll be in
ridiculous.
Videos, he'll be in thumbnails. He'll be around. And whenever he is, he's wearing a mask. Why would you wear a mask? Why would you conceal your face?
That's
what
him?
Are you concealing? That you are a registered sex offender? And that your face can be looked up on a thing? How much more can you literally
They're saying that was him. The guy with the mask a second ago was him.
I wonder he was in a lot of videos.
That's actually wild.
So I don't know why they let him go, but he did.
Like, I don't remember that from watching this.
That guy didn't do anything. They still knew about it, and he was still around.
That's crazy, a yawn.
What if he's one of the people in the Discord servers? What if he's not? I don't know.
An itchy baby.
I have work as.
Called him Delaware.
Don't
so
care.
Why do you call him Delaware? I didn't know. Apparently, they called him Delaware because he's not allowed to go back to Delaware.
Oh.
That's his nickname? Colloquially? Like, yeah, it's Delaware. Don't ask him why, The fuck?
Don't ask him.
The likelihood that he didn't know is astronomically low.
Yeah.
Okay, so finally I have a
Yeah, because Jimmy, like a while ago, tried to like pride himself on knowing a lot of the employees and like stuff like that, like being very involved in his employees. So it's not like he's just the figurehead and no one ever sees him. Like he interacts. Like that's what he was saying.
Yeah. Off the registry, and that's what actually like sparked this person to start.
Well, especially if he's doing videos with them.
What? What?
Okay, so Reed is MrBeast's former manager who was in the last video telling
Yes.
Jimmy, hey, don't promote
he was in a very popular video when he first got hired by MrBeast, and then when he left MrBeast.
Don't have offenders on payroll. Also, yeah, just from where I'm sitting, it seems extremely unlikely that Jimmy wouldn't know, but I know I'm sure that's the defense he'll go with, so I'll just say preemptively, like, if somehow Jimmy didn't know about Delaware, I think it's still such an extreme level of negligence. Like, what, you're not doing background checks, everyone at your company knows, but somehow you don't know. I think that needs more of an explanation.
Especially with what I said earlier about him, like, not trying to be just, he would say that he's not just a figurehead.
Yeah, and
he knows his
Content for
employees.
children and is around children. So yeah, Jimmy, I think we need an explanation from you, or you know, your lawyers and PR people and representatives and spokespersons and.
I think no matter what, he's going to have a very PR response because he's going to try his hardest to save it. He's not going to lose. Who wants to lose the fame that MrBeast has? You know what I'm saying? He's the number1 side. Like, yeah, he's come so far from where he started as just like an average person. He's going to fight. You know?
I know he will be coming out with a longer cut of this interview as well as other content. So I just wanted to shout him out. Jack Weddle, top link in the description.
Oh, they give him the plug he always wanted.
So thank you for doing what you're doing.
Aww. That's crazy. We made it through that marathon of a video. All right, if you made it this far in the video, you have to subscribe. If you sat here through the whole 50-minute interview, you have to subscribe. Tell them right now.
Subscribe to me.
If you subscribe to me, I'll give you a cookie. She doesn't give you anything.
Goodbye from Squirm and the best sister ever and the trash sister.
Bye, guys. If you enjoyed it, I hope to see you for the next video.